Hello, and
Hi.
hello and welcome back.
Whoa.
Hi, everyone. How's everyone doing? You are the worst, and I love you for it. Welcome to Blood Moon Rising, the great American witch, and our Coven of Seer's Rest right here. I'm Lydia, I'm Half-Housed Hermit, and I am your guide, your GM today. This is episode 2 of Blood Moon Rising. Last episode we had a little bit of introduction, we had a heist being planned. We'll see how that goes. Of course, how that goes is going to be decided by these beautiful faces here and what's inside in their brains, which is a lot of filth and a lot of glorious, hilarious, horrible ideas. I'm going to be interested as you guys in seeing how that goes. Let's introduce ourselves and our characters, who you are, who you play today. Let's start with Rindis, Party Wipe Games, and then let's go counterclockwise to keep things fresh.
Hello, I'm Rindis of Party Wipe Games. I will be playing Marcus Belmont, a Hecate witch, and I'm excited to steal some bones. Wink.
Hi, I'm Alyssa Vamp. I go by she, they. My character also goes by she, they. They are named Nanishka, and they are a Hecate witch. And, you stole my lie. I'm also excited to steal some bones, not gonna lie.
Okay, let me try again. Marcus is a self-styled necromancer, and he's hoping to raise some bones. Wink. There you go. You can steal some bones.
Hi, my name is Dee, and today I will be playing Anati Rossford, and Anati is a perfect saint, and thusly will be doing nothing with bones. America's darling.
Hey everyone,
Sure.
my name is my name is Val. Here, Valdriath on the internet. I am playing Sylvie. Both she, her. She is a witch of the hag, and she will be preserving these bones with the utmost respect that they deserve.
That was a regular, non-filthy sentence. I'm very proud of you, and I hope all the sponsors who are helping us put this show on the road are aware of what they are enabling. If you check out chat, and hi if you're watching on YouTube, the links will be below in the description. These are the lovely people that are helping us get our shows together this season. We have, of course, Christopher Gray and his beautiful Great American Witch here on Monday. Broken Dice is helping us with the Nuadan Chronicles on Tuesday. Black Void Games with Black Void on Wednesday, a little bit of dark fantasy and space. Mighty Narwhal is sponsoring Mora on Thursday afternoon. More witches, our friends there in a college at this point, I think Hogwarts, but a little bit more grown up. Followed by Parslings by Smunchy Games, Arcana Media with Nibiru on Friday, and then Saturday, Fate of Cthulhu by Evil Hat Productions. Thank you so much for your help. We couldn't do this without you guys. And of course, we couldn't do this without coffee and tea. In my case, tea. In everyone else's case here, coffee and grinding coffee is something you might want to look at if you also need your fix every day. Support an LGBTQ plus black-owned business that delivers straight to your house with a beautiful roast. I have literally so many people just in my ear constantly telling me about that. I'm like, A, I don't drink much coffee. B, I'm in the UK, but now I want some just because of you people. So if you want to give it a go, check it out and follow the link with the penny for a tail code. You'll get a little bit of a discount as well. But at this point, I think we are ready to go, ready to start with Blood Moon Rising. And in our last episode, like I said before, we had a little bit of a planning session. I'm not sure how much planning it really truly was, but when Dr. Courtney, an acquaintance of Sylvie's, found bones, strange remnants of a bipedal lichen canine creature. There was a lot of uproar in the archaeological, paleontological community, because that's not possible. We know direwolves, we know dinosaurs, but that is a little bit strange. That is a little bit odd. And naturally, our witches, our coven, cannot really risk having knowledge of such creatures come to the public. Obviously, the archaeologists and paleontologists call it jokingly the werewolf, but we know it is, in fact, the werewolf. So a plan was hatched. Steal what's there of the skeleton, and well, that's a little bit of tension in the air as more and more thoughts center around the how are we going to do this? When are we going to do this? Can we do this? And those thoughts, of course, are not just reflected in our four witches. They're also reflected by the Bad Moon Rising, the bar that they run, and their coven has run for, well, decades, if not centuries at this point. The bar always mirrors the emotions of the witches that run it. We have been following Naneshka, who is having a tough time, a rough time with the bar, with the tension in the air surrounding this planned illegal action that is the heist, and it's been following her into her dreams. They're feeling a little bit more on edge than usual. They're feeling a little bit more paranoid than usual. And in one particular occasion, in the bar that's been mirroring her emotions, she's been trying to put a song on the jukebox, but instead only a voice was heard. You destroy everything you touch. Who was that voice that you heard, Naneshka?
An old friend, I would say. Well, friend. One that she maybe... Well, let's just say didn't end up in the best of terms, and that friend is no longer around.
Do you think of me sometimes?
Do you really have to do this right now?
I think of you often.
I'm sure you do. What do you want?
Peace. Quiet. Revenge.
I tried to give you peace. I tried to help you pass on, and you won't do it. And revenge is not coming anytime soon.
You wake up and you hear a knocking on your door.
A dream. Just a dream. They're gonna wake up and ruffle their hair, put on a shirt, long jacket, cover herself up, and open the door, tired, bags under her eyes.
My god, you look like shit. I mean, good morning.
Thank you. You look lovely, as always.
Yes, I know. Cassius quickly sort of pushes his way in. It is early morning
Yes.
after all. Thank you.
Come in.
Puts the umbrella away. Ugh. I hate being a morning person. 500 years and I can't get rid of that. And he kind of starts trying to fix your hair. Like, what's happening? Did you... It's...
You don't. It's fine. It's fine. I just woke up. It'll fix itself.
It's 11 a.m.
Yes.
Aren't you usually an early riser?
Sometimes even early risers need a break, a little bit of a sleeping day.
Well, I'm not going to judge. But what I will do... And he hands you a little box, a little aluminum foiled, see, American, plastic box with deliciously smelling warm baked pie inside. Cherry, from what you can ascertain. We decided to have a bake-off, Stella and me, and naturally, I win. I think. I hope. Taste is difficult these days, so we decided to let our friends be the judges of that. 2 pieces for you to eat, to try, to judge, and then pick the correct one. And he nods a little bit to the right-hand side as he says that. As he opens, and there's one on the left and one on the right. The correct one, the good one, the best one, mine.
The left or the right?
I would never want to influence you like that. So you decide. I also, when I'm gone, I will not be in any way, shape, or form trying to bias you, even though you are my favorite. But just, tonight at the bar, I'll bring more pieces to more people in town, and we'll have the official winner, me, being crowned. Maybe not crowned. I didn't get a crown. I might have a crown somewhere still.
Maybe you'll get a little badge.
A badge. I like it.
Shape of a pie.
Large
Your
badge.
name on it. Oh yes.
One of those little sashes? No, I don't.
Maybe. But we have to get it specifically made for you and embroidered, obviously.
I like that. Anyway, I have a couple more pies to hand out. Are you okay? And he gets a little bit serious and off his dramatic high horse.
I'm sure after this delicious and much more delicious cherry pie slices, I'll be fine. It's just an off day.
He frowns a little bit, and he's a very handsome man. He's one of those people you can't really decide how old he is. Somewhere in between 25 and 50. It depends on the light, it depends on his mood, it depends entirely on what you're into. It's a knowing look. Well, if you say so. But you know where to find me. Door's always open.
Thank you. And she will place a kiss on his cheek.
Oh, my. It's cold. Of course it is, but he smiles, and that smile is warm at least, and saunters off, umbrella at the ready, to hand out more pies, and most likely try and shift the odds in his favor.
Classic cast.
We move to Anati, who has been trying to rope Sylvie and Marcus into a certain promise that she made to Pino, the werewolf. What was that promise? Remind us all, Anati.
I believe that the promise was that I would clean up the ranch house that Pino keeps, so that he didn't have to do it, in exchange for the Lycan helping us with the whole Jake problem.
Ranch house and the backyard. Don't forget the backyard. You promised.
Well, of course. I mean, yeah, absolutely. It's obviously going to be included. I'm going to clean the whole place. I just gotta put my charming boots on, I guess. So I think I will be making my way over to Sylvie's office. It's probably easiest to start with her. And I, on the way there, will smell delicious things coming from a certain duplex apartment, and I'll poke my head in and just ask Stella if I could borrow just a little bit of the leftover cherry pie filling. Please.
All right. I think Stella will actually also have 2 plates, quickly make up 2 plates. And she's like, you know, you have to taste first before I
Right.
can tell you what my filling is.
Mm-hmm.
You can mark it on a scorecard. And the baking contests between Stella and Cass are quite legendary in Seer's Rest. They're both priding themselves in being master chefs. Of course, Cassius will taunt his centuries of experience. Stella, if I'm not mistaken, is a more recently turned vampire. She is having all the confidence of a freshly turned vampire as well, just feeling strong and like she can basically conquer the world, in contrast to Cassius, who is much older and someone who defies the sun by pure age and power and can walk in the sun. Stella is not able to do that. So when you're at theirs, the Stranger Than Fiction bookshop in particular, it's well insulated and covered to make sure that she is safe. She usually only comes out at night. But the kitchen is modern. The area itself is well cleaned and kept in use, strangely, even though vampires don't have to eat food if they don't want to. The 2 pies she pushes in front of you is they seem identical, but all right, pick the right one and you'll get your extra filling.
Right, of course. And is there any way I want to like keep my hands underneath I imagine that Anati has literally just like just walked in the back door. And she's gonna keep her hands behind her back and would like to use a little divination magic very quickly, quietly, to try and assist her in figuring out which pie is from Stella.
Mm-hmm. Do you have a
If at
spell
all
in
possible.
mind that works for your thing, or do you want to? Because if you want to do regular magic, you will roll it at whoa. If it's not on your list.
Then let me see what I got here. I think I would like to I have a maiden spell. Oh no, I have a crone spell that will allow me to reveal the source of an institution or organization's power, the source of its corruption, as well as the best way to reach the source and destroy it. So, could I have Stella trying to, frankly, just disregard the sanctity of this baking contest, be the source of corruption, so that I could try and denote between the two?
You know what? Sure, you could definitely record that, rework that a little bit. Tell me if there's any specific effects, or tell me if there's any specific sigils that you draw in the air that you're trying to use to make this work. We'll ignore the aspect thing. It's not a menace or a milestone chapter, but I like the idea.
That is the only specific thing I believe is that Anati has to use her hands for this spell. It's somatic, so she's just keeping her hands tucked behind her back and sort of working them together clockwise and flitting the fingers in certain directions, and just do it very quickly behind her back and go, and then I do need to roll because that's
roll the 2d6, and add your crone stats into it. For those watching, it is a Powered by the Apocalypse styled game, so if you have your 3 stats, which are Maiden, Mother, and Crone, they correlate to the spells that our witches use. So it's your regular 2d6 plus whatever the stat is. Do roll it at whoa, though. Do roll actually 3d6 and take the 2 lower ones. Because it is still trying to hide it, trying to...
That's a crying shame. I had an 11. Let me roll an additional one. Oh, so that's still a 10.
Mm-hmm. Then you take over the whole narrative of the rest of the scene. It goes not just off without a hitch. There, you can add a special little bonus to it if you want to, and you take over the narrative control.
Anati will imagine that the pie is on the left because, just out of habit from spending so much time together, both Cassius and Stella tend to plate the same way no matter what they're making. So her pie would be the one on the left, which Anati will take a fork to and try it and go, well, that one has just the smallest sprinkling of natural vanilla in it, and I won't say who that's a calling card of. I won't go there, but I think that that one has a bit of the edge. The crust is very well done, and I enjoyed it probably more than the one on the right. The one on the right's fantastic, though. Don't get me wrong here. Now, if you could be so kind as to just impart me with just whatever you have left, I would enjoy that
and
so much.
You see the smile, the sort of really smug smile is growing and growing and growing with every word you said. All right. Be sure to let Cassius know, because he hates using vanilla and pies. English people, the worst. Anyway, so yes, here. Anything else I can do for you?
And she will pluck a fork and go, I think I'm good. Thanks, darling. And she'll give her like a small peck on the cheek and then scurry out of the back door and run to Sylvie.
Like to think that Anati has a way to get into people's houses in this town. There's always a back door open somehow. There's always a hiding place for a key that she knows. It's just there's no stopping for Anati when she wants to sprinkle sunshine onto your life.
Exactly. And Anati will get to the door and go, oh boy. Well, hopefully spirits are with me on this one. This is going to be a task, I think. And I will... Sylvie!
There's a moment like a pause between the knock and the answer. You just hear, "Come in."
And I will open the door and go, "Wow, you look so pretty today."
Why are you trying to bribe me?
I'm not trying to bribe you. I even brought you a present. I know how much you love cherry pie.
Why are you trying to bribe me? What
I
is
I
the
might need
catch?
just I might need just a little, just a teensy bit of help for the next month or so.
No,
You don't even know what it is.
I do. All right, I will give you that benefit of the doubt. Inform me of what you need.
So, you know how you all asked me to go and talk to Pano about what exactly it was that they could do to help us in matters that were related to the moon? And I
I
got that
asked you this.
information. Well, I meant the royal you, as in like everyone, all of us. And I got the information, which was quite a journey in and of itself. I have, I almost sprained my ankle when I was running, but no one ever worries about me. Um, and I I may have made a bit of a deal
Mm-hmm.
to mean his ranch house and the backyard, and that's so much space, Sylvie.
I do not understand why this is of my concern. You are the one who made the deal, so you are the one who should make good on that deal.
Right, and I plan to, but I was just
Mhm.
wondering if you could afford me just a little bit of your help. It's only 4 Mondays. Please.
My next 4 Mondays are booked.
What if I say it pretty please?
If it was Tuesdays, then it would be doable.
Can't you just move your Monday thing to Tuesday?
No.
Sylvie. Am I
If
gonna
I
have to clean the
moved the
whole
things-
house by myself?
If I moved my Monday thing to Tuesday, then I would not meet the deadline for the fourth Tuesday and would thus be out one day of work from those. That is why.
Fine. I guess I'll just toil away forever. And Anati will fall onto the office couch dramatically. Oh, woe is me.
Anati.
Left in the dust by my supposed coven.
Anati, you are magical. Why do you need other people to do simple things like cleaning for you?
Well, cleaning's a bonding experience. You can't use magic to clean, silly.
Yes, you can. I do it every day.
I mean, you can, but then you take all the hard work out of it. You can't use magic for everything.
No, that is true, but cleaning is a boring task, yet essential. So it is best to get it done as quickly and most efficiently as possible, so why wouldn't you use everything you had?
You know what?
If you wish to bond with me, why not ask what I would like to bond with you over instead of volunteering me without my consent for something I do not like?
I didn't volunteer you. as far as he knows, I'm gonna do it myself. I'm still gonna ask Marcus though.
Yes. I mean, asking is not a problem. His Mondays might be available. I'm sorry.
But it's pretty early in the morning and he works late. Well, ding dang it. I didn't know I was going to have to do it myself. Maybe I'll get Prudence to help. That kid needs something to do.
The ghost.
Who's a ghost?
You are denying reality again, I see.
Denying what? You know what? You're being difficult this morning. I don't know what's sticking in your craw, but I'm going to take my cherries back and I will leave.
Okay.
And Anati closes the door behind her and pouts outside of the door.
You just hear like a very nonchalant goodbye, as if that was just an entirely normal conversation, and Sylvie does not see the problem with that. Like just does not see a problem with this exchange whatsoever. Like...
And I suppose Anati will try and find Marcus.
How does Natty find Marcus?
Marcus is in his usual stool. He's probably... it's a bit early, but for him it's probably incredibly late because he's a night owl and probably hasn't actually gone to bed yet today. So he's just sitting there on his X'd drink. He just sees TT coming up and just... Morning? It's morning, right?
Hey, Marcus. Something like that. I don't know. Time's a construct.
Accurate.
Anati will just sit down with the, I imagine I have a styrofoam cup of cherry filling. And Anati would just look at Marcus and see how tired Marcus already looks and goes, cherry? Just set the cup down at the bar.
Pie filling?
Yeah, apparently they're the vampires are doing another bake-off.
Oh, they would pick red, wouldn't they?
Horribly on brand.
Well, at least it's not a pomegranate.
Yeah.
All right, sure, why not? Whose is this then?
That one. Well, I guess technically, since it's just the feeling that could be either of theirs, if they use the same thing.
And he's not the type that'll just stick a finger, so he's gonna look for a utensil to scoop some out and try it.
Anati will present the fork.
Yeah. He just takes it.
Naneshka.
Naneshka you've just come in, still slightly sleep deprived. Yeah.
Just at the mention of her name, she opens the door. I'm here. Cool, no business. And technically not late then.
Do you know how to clean?
Yeah.
How do your Mondays look?
Depends on the dead and depends on the bar.
Never mind.
What? What you need?
Natu just
Titi,
put her head down on the bar.
Oh, Titi, what do you need? What's wrong?
I gotta clean Pano's stupid ranch.
Okay.
And Sylvie's being Sylvie. She's busy. And I gotta clean the whole thing. Me and my dainty little baby hands.
Are you asking for help?
I'm not asking, but if you offered help, I'd take it.
I'm free between the morning and 9. I'll help you.
Okay, thank you. You're so lovely. I love you.
Love you too, TT. You're just a bright spot of sunshine. I appreciate that.
Yeah, I know. You look like you didn't sleep too well, though.
Just one of those nights.
Mm.
You know, it's a good solution to not sleeping well. Not sleeping at all.
Not sleeping.
That's not.
That
No.
eventually will
See,
kill
we've been over this, you two. That's not. No. None of that.
It works if you just do it for like a night or two, and then you're like out cold and you don't dream at all.
Exactly.
Like coma.
You don't have to see what you see with your eyes are closed.
I already have to drag one out of her office. I am not going to start doing it with you two as well.
Hey, I am always out. I am either at the mortuary or here. I'm fine.
Coffee is incredible as well. It keeps you going.
Coffee. That's what I need. She's just gonna go to the kitchen and start making coffee. It's probably her third cup of coffee.
You're leaving the bar, and just when you do, the jukebox jumps to another song. Your head's still full of strange thoughts, worries of the dream you had, of what the spirit said. How you gonna get what's yours? And the song that plays is "You Can't Always Get What You Want." And you're looking around, and it's probably nothing, but
She's
if
gonna
you
go
try
and change the
sometime.
song. No, she's gonna go and just change it.
It jumps back.
Changes it again.
It stays changed.
There. So, coffee? Ever had an Irish coffee? They're great.
What's in it?
Coffee and alcohol.
You had me at coffee, and then you said alcohol. I'm highly
Yeah.
invested in this now.
Mm-hmm.
Why don't we just always have Irish coffee?
I would have some, but Sylvie.
Go ahead.
Sylvie says I'm not allowed to have coffee anymore, so.
We can make you decaf. It's just
I can have caffeine. I don't go that off the wall.
yeah, but like you mix caffeine and whiskey, and it's just
Fine.
While you're debating the pros and cons of caffeinated Anati, Cassius swoops into the bar, puts his umbrella aside, and places, without really saying hello, just a whirlwind of brocade and fancy cravats. Just places several paper plates in front of Marcus, in front of Anati, and let's say one other staff member. Who else is working today, Naneshka?
I think she would. They would hire specifically displaced supernaturals. So I would say, what are the supernaturals that we have in town? Maybe.
Well, I think you werewolves in general are incredibly pack oriented, and it's very rare that you find loners. Pino is the only werewolf in town. Vampires, little bit more numerous than people would assume, although most of them are turned ones, and to reach the power of Cassius, to defy the sun, that is rare, so probably a vampire wouldn't be working at this time. There's various fae and half-faes, changelings, there's shapeshifters of various forms, not just werewolves, but therathropes are, all kinds of animals, really. You might have a ghost or two of a former witch that is powerful enough to actually do some menial tasks, to manifest enough to move plates around. You would probably only have them at graveyard shifts because you don't exactly want a trucker come in and see plates being moved through the air like it's Disney's Fantasia.
Yeah. Why don't we half fae? We haven't had half fae residents yet introduced.
Mm-hmm. I like that.
Her name is, let's say, Leah. Why not?
Leah, who, as far as you know, is a changeling, is someone who was born in the land of Fae, in the land of the fair people, and then given to human parents, and then taken back, or supposedly was supposed to be taken back when she started to grow up. Didn't want to go. Eventually, she and her family, being hounded by all sorts of tricksters and all sorts of fake creatures, found refuge in Seer's Rest, where you struck a bargain with the Fae to leave them alone. Leah is, let's say she's 22, fairly young still, but an adult, and she helps out, especially with the morning shifts, because she knows it's mostly the locals around. She is incredibly beautiful, but she has a little bit of trouble sometimes understanding how humans work. She doesn't quite understand social cues. She's not entirely sure when to laugh, when to change her face into something that makes sense for other people. People tend to say she's either too neutral or too flirtatious or too strong, coming on too strongly, or too distant. It's never quite right. There's always something slightly off about her, but you are all patient, and you all know everyone here is a little bit different, and that's okay. So he places down the various plates with pie and gives you a card that you already know, Naneshka, that you've already marked left, right, cake, and that there, you are our judges, cherry pie, go. And he sits back. I'm not influencing, I'm not biased.
Anati will pretend that this is the first she has heard of this, and will say, "Ooh, I love cherry pie." And we'll try both of them, and look at Marcus while she chews very slowly, deliberately slow, so she doesn't have to answer.
It's definitely pie. It's cherry.
Nothing gets past you, Marcus.
Descriptive
I'm
genius,
working
honestly.
I'm at about 32 hours right now, so you're gonna have to bear with the brain. I would say soaking the cherries in bourbon before you bake it first next time would really help. But I'm a fan. It's good.
Yeah, which one? Which piece? Left, right, left, right, left, right.
Oh, I see. Well, I'm going to kind of underhand it as well because Marcus is biased and he knows what will happen to him if he doesn't choose hers. So he's gonna also do some magic to try and figure out which one is hers, so that he can pick it regardless of whether it's the best one or not.
All right.
And so,
how are you trying to do that in this room full of people?
Yeah,
What are you trying
it's
to
gonna
divine?
be he's gonna take up his coffee and he's gonna just kind of under his breath try and do a quick divination. I don't think he has anything under a Hecate that would help it. Oh,
That's okay.
Actually, that's not true. No, that's not true. I found one. So I'm gonna use some TT logic here because it works so well. Reveal the best path for the subject so that they find personal happiness and success, and that will be the best for their potential. So Marcus doesn't want to die, so he's gonna pick hers. So he wants to find the one that's the best path for that. And so that's a mother blessing. So it would be with mercy.
Yeah. I will say, if you want to completely do this quietly and just a brief thing, you will also roll at woe.
Absolutely.
You, however, still have a bonus from last time. Thanks for those donations. I believe it was a boon that was turned into a advantage for everyone. So if you want to use that, you're welcome to let me know before the roll.
Would it just cancel out?
Yeah.
Okay. Let me do that. I'm gonna spend mine then because I want to see where this goes. So
I love how we're spending all our donated stuff on important things.
Important. It's incredibly important. All right. It's going to be. It's just the 2d6, right?
Yes.
Okay. Then that is 8 plus his mercy, which is 2, so it makes it 10.
10. You can also take narrative control over this, so let me know how everything goes. You can immediately determine what the right cake is, but you can also take over the NPC. You can also take over Cassius and his reaction with that really good success.
So he kind of just lifts his coffee under his breath, recites something that will give him a bit of guidance, and I think the way this manifests is it's just another little like spirit appears, and it's just like, and so he kind of like gives a casual nod to the spirit, and then is like, definitely that one. This one is my favorite, and I think Cassius is just haughty and indignant about it because he's a Victorian vampire, so everything is just an absolute travesty, and he makes a big show of being distraught that somebody would dare pick a different pie than his.
I like to think that Cassius, because, and I'm saying this so I don't have to retcon anything I said, is actually much older than Victorian. He just got stuck there because it's his favorite period.
Gotcha. I saw that it was written there, and so he just exemplifies.
Is that okay with you,
Victorian.
Because you made that NPC, but I think I had him in the Napoleonic Wars last time.
I'm totally fine with that.
He's the jukebox of vampires, so whatever timeline fits for the joke, that'll be it. But he still uses the style and the mannerisms of a Victorian dandy. Yeah. Yeah, he huffs. He audibly huffs. It is actually quite cute. But he doesn't react to much more than that because he doesn't want to be a sore loser. So he huffs. He's a little bit, gives you the cold shoulder. But you mark left, right, and he's like, fine.
While this is happening, Nana's just gonna mark right on hers and turn it and then just slip it to him.
And he gives you a wink, and you see one of his little canines exposed as he smiles at you. Wonderful. And Anati, you picked which one did you say?
It's so good. And she's just going to like had this one bite of pie in her mouth for like the entirety of Marcus's decision. Wow, they're so good. All right, I picked the one on the left. I just love the vanilla. You should use more vanilla in your pies. It's not like a sin.
I see. Well,
You don't like the spices in the right one.
I mean, it's good. It's a good pie, but it's just that I like vanilla. I'm sorry.
enjoy. You, traitors. Not you. I love you. And he just turns around and swoops off.
And now he's gonna be pouty all night.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Today is just the best. Ugh.
Do you want some food?
Yeah.
That's not pie.
We should also probably like. Are we supposed to do something important?
Yeah, we're
We need
supposed
to go
to.
acquire some bones.
Yeah.
Oh,
where's
right.
Sylvie?
That's what it was.
I don't know when we're doing it. I got the van ready. I cleaned it out. Couldn't sleep.
I mean, it'll probably be at night. If we try to break into the place in the broad daylight, that might raise some questions.
Well, I thought we were going when she was invited, and you know what? You guys plan. I'll drive. It's all good.
Sylvie, are you coming in for lunch at that point to join the conversation?
Yeah, definitely at some point. I probably imagine I run into Cassius as I am like I meet him like halfway, and I will just give him a bro sis nod, like what up, like.
Oh, I was just on my way to you here. And he holds another plate under your nose. Another bake-off. Choose wisely.
I was presented with some of this filling earlier today by Anati, but she did not let me taste it. So, I am
What?
excited. Yes, she approached my house with your filling earlier today.
My filling? Are you sure it was my filling? I didn't give her my filling.
I'm not sure who. Well, it was somebody's pie filling. It was, and I'm gonna like point to the pie filling that was given to me. Like, that one, that pie filling.
I will have words. Still, pick one.
What?
Well, eat both and then
Taste
pick your
both.
favorite.
Yeah, she'll look at him. It's like, do you have a fork, or am I supposed to eat it with my fingers?
Fork.
Ah, thank you. And I will eat the right one first. Then I'll eat the left one second. And then I'll take another bite of the right, and then another bite of the left. I'll look at him.
I
It
appreciate
tastes
your
exactly
scientific
the
method.
same. It is exactly the same. And I'm gonna put the fork down and go inside.
You hear the fork clatter to the ground. The plate, as he throws his hands up and just runs off in a huff. It's just humans. Sometimes I don't understand why I put up with them. Sure, I'm safe here. Sure, I'm not getting burnt at the stake. But why am I doing this to myself?
As I walk in, why is Cassidy so mad about pie?
As soon as Sylvie walks in, Anati goes,
I'm gonna look over at Nanoshka. Why is your vampire angry at Pi?
You're muted,
muted.
Alyssa.
Oh, sorry. First of all, not my vampire. Second of all, it's a bake-off. You know how they get. It's important to them.
Was that not a thing? Did we just not collect vampires?
Well, then there are vampires.
Mm.
There's two.
Yeah,
Apparently like to
she
bake
knows
a lot.
me and you know him.
Oh,
It's fine.
The bake-off.
Yeah.
That's what's happening. I suppose I should have been
Yes.
more thorough in my decision. I did not realize that was what was happening. They really did taste exactly the same.
We gotta work on your interpersonal skills.
I find that they're quite fine.
Well, looking at TT, I don't think they are.
Look over at TT like, what does my interpersonal skills have to do with Anati?
Are you sure you're not a changeling?
I'm quite certain that I am human.
Leia leans out of the kitchen. I checked. She's fine. I couldn't believe it either.
Okay, thanks.
I guess I owe you $5.
Can I have a club sandwich?
Yep.
Sure.
Are you
I have
sure
coffee.
you're not too busy?
No, it's Wednesday.
She's impossible.
She doesn't understand.
I don't. No, I don't. Please explain to me why. What is going on? I am quite confused. If someone could be frank with me instead of nonverbals.
All right, I'm usually the straight shooter. What are you confused about?
And I'm just like gonna motion at Anati. Like, apparently my interpersonal skills have caused this.
Yes, that is true.
But I don't understand how.
Well, Anati, you're usually better about explaining your feelings to people.
No, it's fine. Someone's too busy to help out their supposed best friend.
Is this true? Are you her best friend?
Like, Sylvia's like, yes, I suppose, if there was such a thing.
You suppose?
Well, hold on.
Sylvia.
She just said she does feel that way. So, if you are indeed her friend, friends tend to help each other, such as we are all going to help steal some bones. So I feel that TT believes that some quality time, regardless of how she went about recruiting you to spend said quality time, wants to spend that time with you.
But I hate cleaning.
But we all understand that sometimes we have to do things we don't like for the ones we love.
But if I do not do the tasks that I am to do on Mondays, then... And she pauses for a second.
Perhaps
My
explaining
budget
to
will
her.
My budget will be less, and I will have to penny pinch in order to pay for the apartment for my grandmother. That is what I do.
Did you explain the importance of what you do on Monday to her in a way that
Yes,
could understand.
I thought I was very thorough in that I could not give up the commissions for Monday, but if she needed the help on Tuesday, I would then be free. But Monday is the dedicated
is
time that
this
I do this.
TT is moving your thing to Monday, something that is doable?
From Monday, yeah.
I mean, maybe.
Then perhaps we could reach a compromise.
I just felt dismissed, and I didn't appreciate it.
Well, now she's acknowledging your feelings and trying to meet you halfway.
Nanny, how are your Tuesdays?
For you, free, babe.
Fine. Thank you,
Yeah.
Sylvie.
Problem
Coffee.
averted.
You're welcome. I don't understand why this was so difficult for you, Anati, but
Difficult for...
I'm sorry.
And Anati is going to go into the back and just throwing a hissy fit. Just difficult for me. It's so difficult for me.
Well, we almost had
Sylvie.
progress.
Sylvie, here. And Naneshka's gonna put a hot cup of coffee in her hand, like a mug. Drink that.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate
Yeah.
it. I love coffee.
I know. It's got whiskey.
Oh,
Maybe next
you're
time.
appropriating my culture. I understand.
Yes.
And like you see her like just like get like a grin on her face. Like she can't hide the fact that she's joking. Like it's just like this huge grin on her face because she thinks she's hilarious.
Sylvie.
Oh, I think that was a joke. Brilliant.
Yeah. Sylvie, drink your coffee.
I actually do not need an Irish coffee right now. Alcohol would be a hinder. Could I please just have it plain?
Yes. She'll take
Thank
Sylvie's coffee and start
Anati.
drinking it.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Anati
Marcus is
will
gonna
send-
swipe it if she doesn't.
Anati
No.
will send
enough.
Leah out of the kitchen holding a cup of coffee, and there are just the sounds of very angry, very loud cooking happening in the back.
Leah sort of stumbles out, looks behind her. I think Anati is anger cooking again.
Come to the bar. You know how dangerous that is.
Oh yeah, I'm not trying to interfere. Still have the burns from last time.
Come on. Coffee.
She sort of sits down with you guys. She does have the coffee for Sylvie, but she always feels a little bit self-conscious when she gets to sit down with the Coven. And she's just holding her mug and just staring a little bit too intently, a little bit too directly at all of you without blinking much.
That's Leah. It's fine.
Lee, if you don't blink, your eyes will dry out.
I'll try and think of it.
Okay.
So, Tuesdays, we're cleaning. Bone heist?
I am waiting for... When am I going to be invited to Bone Heist? Today it's Wednesday. Like, we've established.
Any day you want. Any day you want. It's...
We'll say Friday.
We're just gonna
we'll
move
say
forward
Friday is the day. Yeah, we'll say Friday is the day. Ah, yes, I've invited to go to the university this Friday.
Okay. The van's ready, cleaned out. Whenever you go, let us know. We got you.
That grin is on her face because she knows that when she drives away from this town, everybody knows because it's not quiet.
We're not using your car.
I am. You're not. Why would I be associated with the possible vehicle that could steal bones in case you were caught?
I need more coffee. She just starts
It is
drinking her
alright.
coffee a little faster.
Don't burn your esophagus.
A Nazi will emerge with like 4 plates and set them down, including Sylvie's club.
Thank you, Anati. This looks delicious.
And disappear back to the kitchen.
Oh.
So, how are you planning, if there is any plan involved? Sylvie, you know the area quite well. You know where the skeleton is most likely kept, and you can tell me roughly what you think to expect in terms of, is this something that would even be guarded? Because, you know, who cares about dinosaur bones? At this point, nobody knows about it yet. It hasn't been publicized. How do you think would this place be... do you think would the heist best be completed without your companions being noticed, caught?
I believe that it would work out as a reconnaissance in the daytime where the companions would be possibly touring along with, while I'm doing actual business, touring the facilities where we keep ancient relics and fossils, whereas the deep part, Sylvie would be reconnaissing how to get to the fossil specifically and where it's at. And then at night, we go in and we preserve that ancient being.
All right. Any other things you might want to add to that? Any ideas Anati, Naneshka, or Marcus are having regarding these plans?
It seems pretty solid.
I
Sounds
think
like,
the less of a plan we go in with, the less of a fuck up we can do. Right?
it's true.
That's
We
how it
can't mess up
works.
a plan we don't have.
Exactly. So
That is the
go
most
in
RPG phrase I've ever heard.
We go in, reconnaissance, come back at night with the van. Sylvie, you tell us where the bones are. We go get them, and we leave with them. Boom, solid plan. We got this.
All right.
We need to buy like latex dinosaur masks instead of dead presidents.
I mean, I have latex masks.
You're muted,
They're not
Belle.
dinosaur.
No, you're good, D.
I would
We heard.
I would suggest latex gloves, not latex mask. We do not want to leave any fingerprints. That is a new technology that is
we can get the
emerging.
masks and the gloves. I was just more of so they don't see our faces.
I believe they sell that in the university gift shop.
Perfect.
So,
We'll need to
while
hire
we're-
something
Student
completely
center.
separate from us.
Mm.
Or
Would,
while we're there
and I'm
in the
gonna
morning,
look over.
getting our tour, we can stop by the gift shop and buy the masks then.
I'm gonna look over the three of you. Like, all right, Marcus, you shall be Pachycephalosaurus. Naneshka, you will be an Ankylosaurus. Anati, you will be a Herrerasaurus. And I will have an Apatosaurus.
Do they actually sell those as masks?
Of course.
Anati will turn to Nineshka and go, "How am I supposed to stay mad at her?"
You don't.
Sounds like we've got a plan then.
Then it's just gonna
And
slip some
as-
coffee into Anati's hand.
As we fast forward a little bit to that particular day, 2 days to worry, 2 days to double check everything. Is this sound, is this a good idea? But then coming back to the very brilliant observation that it doesn't matter anyway. We'll see what we'll see, and then we'll do what we'll do. We'll figure it out. If not magic, you eventually make it to Friday with the meeting relatively early in the morning. The night before, Cassius has begrudgingly accepted his loss, as Stella's pie was crowned as the best in town. It's okay, he won the past 2 contests, but you've all had a fairly late night at the bar, as Cassius was forced to pay several rounds for everyone. But you're somewhat awake. You can decide yourselves how hungover you are for this particular mission as you head out to the university. Is it Sylvie in her Ford Mustang and everyone else in Naneshka's van?
Yes. This is why it is not quiet when Sylvie leaves town, because a 1967 Mustang Shelby GT is not quiet when it leaves. Ever. She got it from her grandpappy.
Anati will get into the van looking both too happy to be going on something like this, and also far too well dressed to be doing something like this.
Nishka's waiting at the driver's seat. She's not hungover, but she doesn't look the best.
Marcus probably stumbles in stinking of bourbon, but he's dressed in all black. He's got black gloves, a black beanie. He's at least looking the part for a heist. He kind of looks at everybody else and he's like, "Did you all not prepare for a robbery?"
Doing that at night.
Yes, but you still don't want to be identified in your plain clothes.
Okay. Just get in.
He climbs into the driver's seat, or the passenger seat. Get out, driver's seat. The other one.
You leave Seer's Rest, having left the bar in the capable hands of your Coven sisters and people in the area who you trust. It's rare that all 4 of you leave town, but there's no risk, there's no danger on the horizon that you're aware of, so should be fine. In this particular case, it's worth it. The university is a few hours away. You drive east. And of course, Sylvie is there first. Does Sylvie stick to tempo limits and stuff like that?
I mean, it's a highway in 1979 and she's driving a muscle car. Even if someone wanted to chase her, they wouldn't catch her. Especially since she's got Hot-Blooded by Foreigner playing.
Naturally. That is a good enough reason to drive fast.
Yeah. So, and here's the thing, it's not a red Mustang, it's white with a blue racing stripe, so it does not go faster according to the police, and so they misjudge her anytime.
Logic.
Yes.
You arrive at the university at the time a little bit early. Obviously, you're always on time, but a little bit early as Dr. Courtney is eagerly awaiting you. He's in his office and is just compiling a little bit of a file for you with all the information that you might want on the werewolf, as they just call him. Everyone in this world knows what a werewolf is. Obviously, they don't know that they exist, but they've seen the films and they've read the books, and everyone knows the mythological creature. They think it's a joke, mostly.
It's
every now and then
not uncommon, yeah.
Every now and then the actual thought of, could this actually be one of them? Could this actually all be real? Enters their scientific brains, but then like, nah, that can't be.
Nah.
But as you knock on his door and enter his office, he gets up. Well, let's just say he's standing and just moving around several files and looks up and puts them all together. Oh, Sylvie, wonderful. I was waiting for you. You ready for this?
Oh, yes.
Are you ready for this?
Yes, I am very excited to see this. And that is very genuine on her part. Yeah.
He starts walking, and he walks and talks and walks and hands you various files, which looks like an acrobatic, beautiful, beautiful duo from anyone walking past you. You've done this so many times. You've worked together several times. You've worked on a few papers, and I think you've even had a couple of courses under him when you were still studying. So him doing that, it's well known, and it is a beautiful sight to behold as he juggles various papers, and as soon as he loses one, you catch it behind him. Through the corridors, people jump aside to make space for you, and he's talking all the way through, a mix of excitement and personal glee with a scientific nomenclature of various bone structures that they have identified, various aspects that they've run through. We've actually now dated it back. It's impossible. It is absolutely impossible. This thing is supposedly just about 250 years old. Can't be.
Then it hasn't quite. Then it hasn't quite fossilized yet.
No, that was what threw us when we found it, because we thought clearly from what it is, what it seems to be, it must be ancient. But anyway, I'll show you. You reach the area of the university that is usually closed off to regular students, an area that would normally not be part of a student tour or university tour. The tours they offer are for most often for future students of the area, or every now and then a professor will of course have family of a student over, or his own family, or interested parties, sponsors in particular. The university always needs money, as is often the case. They try to get anyone to somehow get connected to this place and figure out a way to survive for a few more years. So yeah, sponsors often help. In these areas are in the basement of the university, well cooled, well tempered for any form of remains.
Yep.
You notice it's not. Yeah, you noticed it's not under lock. It's not in the area where they keep very valuable pieces, where they keep incredibly rare pieces just yet. It's still in the area where it's worked upon, the lab, basically. But when you come across this skeleton, you find that it is laid out. They try to piece the puzzle pieces together, if you will. And you immediately notice that some of the bones are charred. They are partial and charred burnt. Dr.
Mhm.
Courtney goes, it could be an explosion. We've tried to figure out, but it's contaminated, obviously. It might just be fire, maybe burnt. We couldn't find any form of
did you
explosive.
find? Yeah. Where did you find the skeleton?
It was in a nearby cavern. We actually didn't find it. It was a couple of hikers from the East Coast. They were exploring the conservation area. One of the caverns. They were seeking shelter during the night. They said there was sounds of caving in rocks. They ran out. Some parts of the cave, just a sort of landslide, perhaps, revealed a new tunnel further down, a little forking in the path, and well, we found it there, half stuck in the clay wall, and I'm not entirely sure why there would be fire down there. We certainly didn't find any signs of burnt wood or any other tinder that could have been used. Possibly it was washed out, to be fair, but...
Clarification questions, please. You say the
Yeah.
hikers found it. Did they find it and bring them to the doctor? Or did they find it, inform the paleontologist/archaeologist, and they, who was the one who dug it up?
The paleontologists were the ones digging it up. They didn't.
Okay.
They might have stolen a bone or two, but of course, we asked them. They swear they didn't take any souvenirs.
Okay.
But they informed one of the nearby rangers, and well, they informed us because it's our research area.
Yeah, 200 years ago, there was no significant sort of geological that we know of in our records that would have caused some charring. And hikers are the one that found it, said they brought, and she's gonna rub my cheek. Doctor, how do you know that it wasn't placed there purposely?
Well, it must have been placed there somehow, and the burning must have happened somewhere else, but... as far...
Look at these remains. We're automatically concluding that we're finding a new species. How do we know they're even from the same species of animal to begin with? The skull itself could be a dire wolf, or just a mutated animal in general, that someone could have placed with, let's say, and I'm going to look over at the hindquarters, a mixture of gorilla remains that they have done. This could very well, and I hate to be the bearer of bad news, a hoax. You have so many people out there who are wanting to prove Bigfoot exists, Wendigos exist, the Jersey Devil. How do we know this is not just another...
Well, first of all,
you seem to not have approached this with
hoax...
a skeptical eye. Yes.
Ooh. He is taken aback by that for a second. I respect your skeptical nature. In fact, I admire it, but... And he picks up the skull, he picks up a large chunk of the skull, because you can tell that while bits of the thigh bone and hip bone and bits of what is a couple of claw bones and claws, or foot bones and actual claws are there, there's not much there of an upper body, but there is something that he would suggest is, well, the front paw, but it's elongated strangely, and the skull is shattered. But he picks up a large chunk, and they pierced it together. Look at this, and he turns it around to show you the inside. This is a large skull with a large brain cavity. No direwolf, no regular mammal would feature such a large brain. This is different.
You and I both know that that's not true. And I'm gonna, if he lets me kind of hold up the skull, I would like to use a move. I would like to enforce my will onto him and try to convince him that this is more than likely a mismatch of a hoax. Like, this is not new. This is not special. This is most likely something that someone has put there to confuse the scientific community.
Yeah. That is perfectly fine. The conflict here being you want to keep this hidden and under the lid, and him being super excited and wanting it out there. What aspect did you enter the scene with?
I say I will enter this in crone, please.
Yeah. You have, I think that makes sense. You have a fairly direct goal. You have a cronish disposition in general, as in this is how it's done. I think that works for a plan like this.
And I would like to use my my wheel on this.
I'll just double check to make sure this is a menace chapter. You might actually get, but this might only be No, it's fine. You can use your wheel here. It's you could use the crone. Enforce will is the crone, so you would get advantage with that. It's currently at a straight roll. Get advantage with the wheel, and I'll take your special point away.
Okay, so that's with 2 or 3 dice?
3 dice. Take the 2 higher ones.
Take the 2 higher ones. Okay. I get a +2 right now to my severity.
Double 6.
Very nice. So that would be a 12.
Hey.
Oof. All right, the scene is absolutely yours. You can take over Dr. Courtney as well. Tell me how he reacts. Tell me what he says. This is your stage. You take over the narrative with that success.
All right. Essentially, I will take this skull, and as he's talking about the brain cavity and how no other mammal would have this, I will start pointing out in the fossil records actual mammals such as whales, and how whales were dog-like at some point when they were land creatures. So that's completely within, like, just throwing out like alternate skeptical things and being a little condescending that like he did not apply. Like, I feel, you know, it's like you didn't properly attest. You got too excited, and I understand how it is, but I think you should do this more with the eye that these aren't even from the creatures, as I like do all of the bones. We should, after all, this isn't a fossil at 200. It's impossible to fossilize things at 200, kind of thing. And he'll take that, because it's like, you know, he did get very excited, because we're kind of in this, we're entering into the 80s, which is when we're trying to find like this new boom of fossilized creatures, and everyone wants to be the next new discoverer and all that kind of stuff. And it's like, yeah, no, it makes sense. Like, there's a lot of cryptozoology fanatics that like to prove stuff and want to be on the map, and he got caught up in that. And that's how I'm framing it.
He is nodding along and is slowly coming around to your point, and I didn't consider that, I guess. I have to look at the results again. Oh, see, you might have a point. I may have reacted a little bit too early with the announcement. I'm not giving up on it completely, but I will have to run more tests, which is unfortunate. This was going to be big, Sylvie.
Honestly, Doctor,
this was going to...
the discovery of Sauropelta was big enough. You don't have to keep chasing fandom. It's just...
I'm not chasing fandom. I'm not chasing fame and fortune, but you know the university is struggling. You know this particular branch always is cutting edges here and there, cutting ends here and there, and trying to make ends meet. We can tack a saurus onto whatever Latin word we can think of, and the public will just nod and smile and pat us on the head. But werewolves, that's big. That everyone knows what that is. We had
A myth.
we had
A myth. A myth. Just
Well-
like Bigfoot,
well-
just like the Jersey Devil, just like what's happening in Roswell.
just like dinosaurs were so thought to be a myth and called dragons.
No,
once.
dragons were a myth. Dragons are a myth. Yes, and now you have people saying that dinosaurs were on the Ark, and we know the Ark did not exist. Like, it's
Oh, don't let the
again,
Bible Belt
and-
know that.
Again, don't. I'm sorry that this might be. It could still very well be bipedal canid, but 200 years we have explored them. You think that Teddy Roosevelt wouldn't have encountered one when he did this entire area? That was his thing, Doctor. I mean, it just assumed be a chupacabra.
We have
Do you believe in
I have two
chupacabra?
representatives. Maybe I'm a scientist. I don't assume anything until I have the ability to verify or falsify. You know I like that stuff. Don't use that against me. We had two people come in from a law firm in Albuquerque. They focus all their charity work on paleontology, and well, this was going to be quite lucrative. I'm not going to lie. This is bad. If that were
Perhaps instead of relying on private donors, we should vote in people who will fund our universities with taxes.
you go tell that to the public, and I'll try and
My friend has a radio show.
Deal
I think
with
it would be
reality.
a really good topic.
oh,
Reality, Doctor. You still believe in werewolves? And I'm gonna give like a little giggle, like I'm being cute. Like, I'm sorry, but here, listen. I am not saying that the possibility isn't there, that this is a new creature. However, looking at the facts and the science, the probability is quite low. However, it's still very exciting. But I am skeptical. But we should keep looking into it. Let's get some more advanced carbon dating. I believe that they were working on some of that in Calgary.
we will. Until we have it verified that this is in fact a hoax and we find several different bones from several different species coupled together, I'm not quite ready to let it go. Judge me all
I
you want.
understand. We want to beat the Russians in this, I know.
Some of my favorite colleagues are Russian. I'm not subscribing to that idiocy.
But your donors might.
All right. No, don't tell them. All right. Well, let's have lunch. Talk a little bit more about your theories as to what
Ooh.
it could be. I have the test results here, and he shows you various pieces of paper that
Yeah.
he hasn't shown you yet with all the numbers.
I hear that Hatch chilies are in season right now. Should we go to a taco stand?
Sure. Whatever you wish.
Excellent.
And he takes you away.
Excellent.
All right, so you know where the bones are, and that it's usually not part of a regular tour. Anati, Naneshka, and Marcus, you've reached the university. Do you try and meet up at some point after this? After Sylvie has seen the skeleton you've had a little tour, you've had a little walk around in the public area. Is there anything else the three of you want to have been doing? Is that the correct tense? Now it is. Before you meet up with Sylvie again.
Gotta hit up that gift shop, buy those masks.
Yeah, we did need the gift shop. I think when we go to the gift shop, Marcus made a valiant attempt to find the dinosaurs that Sylvie had recommended and gave up very quickly. And instead, Anati has a Tyrannosaurus mask, Naneshka has a Stegosaurus, and Marcus has a Triceratops.
Perfect.
I did not write those dinosaurs down, not the ones Sylvie mentioned, not the ones you mentioned just now. This is on you. I refuse to be that kind of GM.
Yeah.
So that's
It's
on
okay.
you.
It's okay. You like this makes sense because like those three are basic as fuck dinosaurs. Great dinosaurs, but basic.
No, that's why it's funny. That's
And,
why it's
like-
funny, because it was just like she said something and I don't know what the fuck these are, and so he just grabbed the ones he knew.
Yeah.
Perfect.
You have
What
your
did you grab
masks.
for Sylvie though?
Oh, did you need a mask?
Mhm.
He would grab a pterodactyl for Sylvie, of course.
She would argue that that's
course.
not a dinosaur.
That's why it's funny.
Perfect.
That's why it's gonna be great.
There's the disappointment on her face when you meet up with her again is obvious. And the first thing she says is, I thought you were gonna get us all dinosaur masks.
I did. They hold out the pterodactyl.
That is not a dinosaur, it is a flying reptile.
Why are
Sylvie
you selling? Why are you selling them with the dinosaur mask then?
Anati is going to take the mask and just put it on Sylvie's head and say, "We will see you back at the bar, and not one word of complaints, Missy. I will hear you in that Mustang of yours," and then I'm going to jump back in the van.
And so I guess that means that Sylvie's not participating in the heist. However, she would have drawn detailed directions and maps on how to get to
Oh,
said
is this-
village for you. Yes.
I thought this was like at lunchtime. Are we doing the heist?
We're at the
we're doing-
university.
Mhm.
We're at the
Like, I was,
university
like,
and we'll
skipping
do the
ahead,
heist
sorry.
at night.
Yeah.
But we're just meeting up with her after she meets with the doctor.
At
I would
lunch,
assume we would probably
yeah.
wait around since this is a few hours away from Seer's Rest.
Mhm.
Okay.
Nanesha's just got food and she's in the van and just eating her heart out. She's happy. They have tacos.
I was gonna say, were food trucks a thing in the 70s? We got some food and we're just eating.
Oh, taco trucks were definitely a thing, especially in New Mexico,
Hell
I
yeah.
would say.
Definitely getting
Mhm.
tacos then.
Before
We
the
also
heist,
just
Anati
managed
will-
to 1 second. We managed to hit 20 retweets, so you guys are getting a boon, which will probably come in handy during this particular next scene. Thank you, chat. I'm gonna think of
Thank
something.
you,
You
chat.
keep going and let me know how that heist will happen.
Before the heist, Anati will change into a full body, a leather bodysuit, and so just like tuck the flowy dress away.
Love it.
Very
You
inconspicuous.
just have that lying around, TT.
It was a gift.
Cute.
Right? It makes my butt look great.
You make it look great.
Oh, you. And then I'll put on the T-Rex mask. Amazing.
Naneshka
Yeah,
just has
yeah.
black jeans, a black t-shirt, and a leather jacket. That's it.
Okay, so we are going to try and steal these bones. You
Bone
have
heist.
ascertained bone heist. You're trying to get that bone. You trying to get those bones. It is a large skull fractured into many different pieces. You will probably need everyone to carry their weight quite literally. You know the direction, you know the way. You do know that there is a key needed for at least 2 of the doors that can be either the professor or the doctor has one, of course, Dr. Courtney. Possibly janitors, cleaning personnel at night. There are always students here that are late. There are always students here that are late working in the library, which will be open till like midnight, but that particular area, usually they're not working in the lab that late, so yeah, there will be security around patrolling every now and then. You know, not exactly Jean-Claude Van Damme, but a couple of campus police just strolling, whistling, eating donuts. The stereotype, you know.
Okay, so if anything goes wrong, remember, magic. Foolproof.
Right,
We got
of course.
this. Yep.
When in doubt,
Yes.
magic out.
Exactly.
A fully conceived plan.
I'd like to think that Nanishka's like just constantly changing the radio stations. Like no song is right as she's talking, like unconsciously.
Let's get in there. You're muted, Lydia.
Thank you. We're moving closer. The time has come where you're trying to get entrance. Sylvie shows you the way, but has not procured any of the keys that will be needed. You don't know the routes of the security guards.
Question that I had.
Mm-hmm.
If I expend a charm, can we make that passing comment you had earlier an actual thing? Is that maybe that's a part of Anati's just like passive magical ability, is that there's always an open door when she needs there to be one?
Yeah, I think if you spend a charm for that, that will work quite well.
And Anati would just sort of stand outside of the van and like pause for a second and just feel and go, there's an open door this way. Come on now, move. And we'll just make their way to that door that she feels for through her magic. And we'll peek around the corner like a Scooby-Doo character to see if there's a guard in front of it.
Totem head. All 4 of them picking.
There is a guard just behind the door, and you know the open door. You know where to find them. Doesn't mean there's no obstacles in the way. A guard is just heading inside. Starts checking the various classrooms and the various lecturing halls. You can see him poking his head in, looking around, turning the lights on, turning the lights off, coming back out again. Next one. Different types of classrooms all together in one long corridor. It's a cool night, no clouds in the sky. Moon is
there a...
Yeah. On its way to being full, but yeah.
I was gonna ask if there was a routine that he was taking every few minutes. If he checked the classroom, if there's a moment when he's not at the door that we need him to be.
Roll me an awareness, please.
Awareness.
Plus wisdom.
Let's see. Plus wisdom.
Also, if you want to type in chat what aspect you all came into this scene with.
That is important. Boppity, boppity, bop.
Okay, let's see. I think for Nanishka it would have been mother. I typed it in the chat, but I will say because she's trying to take
you can say that as
care of the supernatural community, trying to help them.
Anati is taking on the aspect of the maiden.
Marcus is also taking on Maiden.
And we'll see what Sylvie says in a second. We, by the way, for everyone watching, the aspects are helping in particular menace or particular conflict situations, giving you, in this case, just as a refresher for everyone, a straight roll for the menace chapter. It gives you a straight roll on every move that is in this aspect. But any other move that is not in this aspect is rolled at woe, so at disadvantage.
For awareness, I rolled a 6 and a 5, so that's 11. I do have a -1 to wisdom, but because of my mother, I have a +1, so it cancels each other out, so it's just still an 11.
All right. So you tell me how you notice what the guard does and how you keep an eye on it. Because yes, you are winning narration rights as well as this role. It has a slightly better outcome than even hoped for. And oh my god, Alicia, thank you so much for those £20. Hello.
Damn.
Or $20. I'll double check, but that is a wheel for everyone, I believe. Thank you.
So I think she'll kind of pull back the rest, kind of from the little totem pole head peeking out Scooby-Doo style. And she'll wait to hear kind of like the pattern of the footsteps, how close they get and how far away they get, and then peek out again and see the pattern. Sits down, waits 10, 15 minutes, gets up, does rounds again, checks each room in a certain order. And I think once she's aware of that, she will propose a distraction in one of the rooms so we could get in through the door. Sound good?
Like I said, you have the narration rights. You have a full success. You're sneaking in. Guard is not noticing you just now.
Would I be able to use... It's not a spell on my... on my list, but it's just use magic to look in like where a classroom might be and create a noise in that classroom.
Okay. Tell you what. If one of you is brave enough to create some magic effect in one of those classrooms, but you have to be somewhat close to do it. You have to put yourself at risk. of being possibly found, while the other 3 definitely managed to get away, I'll give you a charm for whoever wants to put themselves at risk. He is already putting their hand up. So,
Well, if
Dee,
anyone
tell
has
me.
a penchant for being distracting,
Very good. So, mark a charm. You have an extra one for this, but also tell me how you put yourself at risk exactly. What kind of magical distraction or regular distraction you are trying to get the guard away from his path.
I am going to... I'm going to begin casting the spell before I get into the room, and like start the swirling motion of the hands and the muttering under the breath, and then I'll just kick something down so it makes noise. And then when the guard comes in, I want to release the spell on them, and it's like this purplish mist that spreads across them. And I would like to use one of my maiden curses so that the subject will actively sabotage themselves so they cannot achieve their goal of being a good security guard.
Amazing. Roll me that magic spell.
Okily dokily, folks. Ooh. I get another +1 because it's a maiden spell, right? So that is just barely a 7.
That is a success with some unforeseen consequences. The security guard sees you, and the security guard is for a moment taken aback by this very short, very thick with 2 C's, which at that time did not yet necessarily exist as a thing, but that is what the guard is thinking in this very moment. He doesn't know where the 2 C's even come from.
It's true.
Person with a dinosaur mask on, and he hesitates for a second. And then he tries to jump towards you to catch you as you're sort of starting to move around, but waving and then just running off into one direction. He doesn't even have time to scream, "Halt, stop!" He just launches and tries to tackle you, but falls over a chair that he doesn't see in the dark. It's in the shadow of one of the desks, and he just completely crumples over, but manages to get your leg. And as he gets your leg, this is the unforeseen consequence, you wriggle free and leave behind a shoe in his clutches. The guard is out. The guard is out. He tries to get up, but he can't. Ow, and then stumbles forward into more desks and falls down, hits his head, unconscious.
And I'll turn to the rest of the group and go, "Well, come on, what are y'all, watching the show? Get a fucking leg on."
No, it's just booking it to the door.
You've run on. Sylvie, you know the corridor, you know it, you've only walked it a few hours ago. You're on the public area. In the public area, you're headed towards one of the doors that needs a key. If you want to spend a charm to say you didn't get a key, or you did get a key somehow from Dr. Courtney, or you want to take that sort of narrative control, or if you have another way of getting through there, let me know.
Yeah, let's spin the charm, and let's say maybe at lunch is when I was able to pull this stunt of a missing key from him, maybe he didn't even like left his wallet. I kind of wanted to go and flavor it as some of the fey creatures that I probably have known for a while on this university because I went here for so long. I asked them of a little favor for a little mischief pickpocket of the good doctor's key.
You know of a tree that is often used by students for their first dates or for their little lunch dates or learning dates that always ends up in a makeout session. And you're one of the few people knowing that this tree has something to do with love being in the air. There is the remnants of a very old, very ancient nymph. A dryad, if you will, within that tree. Who just likes to see people in love and is happy to wave her twigs and her branches in just the right soothing manner to create a little bit of a nice atmosphere with those moving shadows. Always has her blossoms open up for young couples, the scent enticing, calming. And you have a deal with her. You have one favor with her. She sends one of her little birds. The key being stolen out of Dr. Courtney's pocket is in your hand.
Please tell me, just please tell me that bird was a roadrunner. I was just thinking of local birds. I'm sorry.
This is where my European is showing. I mean,
just please tell me.
Sure. Sure.
There was a meep. Listen.
Yes, the bird was a roadrunner. He couldn't stay very long because there was a wily coyote after him, and
Yep.
I love roadrunners.
Here we are, folks. This is
where has this place taken us?
We're all losing it. We're all losing it.
60s cartoon references. It's happening. Did you honestly think this wasn't gonna happen? I'm here in this game. So much pop culture.
I'm not sure what was going to happen.
Okay.
All right, you have the key for these two doors that you'll need to open on the way to the bones. You make your way down. But as you head down, you notice there's a light on in that particular lab you need to go to. It's a bit unusual.
Is there like a schedule anywhere in the hallways that we could, like, because you know how like you can rent certain labs and rooms, like the sign-in sheet, or like in the libraries, is there a sign-in sheet anywhere that we could have possibly be in our vicinity?
Only if you have another charm to spend.
No, not me.
I have a charm. Could I say that instead of a schedule, you know those mirrors that they put up on the corners of the wall to kind of see around corners? Can we say there's one that's reflecting inside the lab that shows us what's in there and who's in there?
I like it. Great idea. You spend your charm, and you notice that just opposite of where that light shines through, one of the windows that are designed as open labs so students can watch and everyone knows what's going on, that light is reflecting And within the light's reflection, you see shadows moving. 2 of them.
She'll point up to the mirror. Do you think 2 people are gonna be here?
Nope.
Do you know anybody else involved in this skeleton?
Lawyers.
Why would lawyers be here at night, though?
Lawyers scheme. I could investigate quietly.
I could try to get a spirit to help me. See what's inside.
You could.
I don't know if this is lawyers with Azad. I don't think they're actually lawyers.
I could do something terrible. Not so terrible. I have a spell that is a blessing. It says a person or location behind a spiritual or a veil so that the physical can no longer interact with it. And I would like to put this office into where these bones are kept into the veil so that these 2 people cannot interact with it.
Huh.
Mm-hmm.
Alright.
Okay.
I mean, they will notice
And
that probably that they can't
something
interact
is weird.
with something. Yeah.
Yeah.
But sure,
But it could
go for
give
it.
us enough time for them to maybe leave and then we can grab it, that kind of thing. Okay.
I could
So-
also try and send a spirit to check out what's happening.
Whatever you want to do. I'm not going to fight you about it.
No, I'm not gonna fight you about it either. I just I'm nervous. I'm genuinely nervous about this heist. No, I trust you. I trust Sylvie. She knows how to handle bones.
Okay, thanks. If I was in... So actually that is a question. So I do have some table talk question real quick. Because I'm in aspect of the crone, can I only cast crone spells or can I cast other spells in my
You
other
can cast
aspects?
other spells, but they will be at woe. You
At
still
woe,
have a
right.
wheel. Yeah, you have a wheel donated. Thank you
Okay.
very much for that. So you can cancel that out if you want to.
Okay. Okay. Hold on. So let me just review these spells real quick because I have a lot of things that can push and pull things out of the veil, which could be very helpful. The other option is to put a veil around the location or subject so that they will be invisible to anyone that wishes to find or harm them when they don't want to be found. So if we can create some sort of distraction just to have them look away, not necessarily leave, but look away to where if they turn around and the things are suddenly gone, we can, and Sylvie just does this.
Well, could you cast that on people and then we would
Yes.
technically be able to go there in invisible?
Yes.
Yeah.
And we'd be lifting up invisible the bones would be floating.
Well, we could beat them up while we're being invisible, and then.
While invisible, yes, that is an excellent idea. Let's do that.
Such an initiative.
Violence has been chosen.
She has chosen violence today.
Sounds like a. So yeah, I suppose I will use that other wheel to sort of cancel out the woe, and roll it 2, and I get +2 because this is a mercy. Okay, that would be a solid 8.
Solid 8 is a soft success, so you feel the veil sinking down upon all of you. It is calm, warm, like a blanket. But every now and then you hear a little chittering and chattering. Every now and then you hear little voices. Nothing more for now.
Alright, we're invisible. Let's walk into this room and see what the fuck's going on.
You walk into the room, and you see 2 people. Both of them in suits. A woman and a man. You see them handling the bones. And you hear them saying things, but you cannot understand what they're saying. This is the caveat of the mixed success.
Mm-hmm.
You hear those chittering voices. They seem to be arguing from their faces. She holds that bone up and points at it, and he goes, but you cannot hear it. Sylvie, you walk closer, you turn around, you try and read their lips to figure out what they're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
That's when the woman turns her face to the light.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a familiar face. You haven't seen Madeline in a while. But you remember her. Your cousin from the other side.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's her.
Fuck. I'm gonna look over at my companions and I will whisper, Illuminati.
Fuck.
Yeah, that's not good. That's not good.
Mm-hmm.
Naneshka just motions like.
Marcus just takes out a pipe he had been carrying.
Are you about to beat these 2 people up or attempt to?
Can
I'm for it.
Naneshka's ready to do so.
Yeah, real quick. So they're holding their bones and they're arguing. Madeline and this other guy are arguing. Can I make an awareness roll to find something that I need to, or understand a problem that will make this successful?
What is this exactly? The stealing or the...
Taking these bones as quickly as possible, because the Illuminati have things that can go against witches, so it just became a lot more dangerous. Or even if we're in the position to even take this on, kind of thing.
Even without the awareness roll, like you would have to physically carry those bones out to pick them up.
Yeah.
It takes entirely too long for them to not do anything about it.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Can I make the roll to see what's the problem between the 2 of them? Because they're arguing.
Make the roll.
Mm-hmm.
It's a wisdom roll.
Yeah.
Let's see if that applies to just magic or... That applies to just magic. So that's a straight roll. Straight awareness.
Okay. Woof. That is 7.
Again, with a little caveat.
Mm-hmm.
You step a little bit closer, realizing that when you step closer, their voices come through the veil a little bit louder. And you hear one word. Elder. And that's when your foot knocks against a tool that was left on the floor. And the clinking is loud.
Mm-hmm.
They turn around, they
Okay.
whiz around, looking directly for you, for someone, for something. Can't see you. What are you doing?
Yeah. I'm gonna look over at Marcus, who has the pipe, and go like
Okay, then.
and put like.
I'm gonna move around
It's time.
in away from the source of the sound and kind of get behind them, and then just try and get close and whap them with the pipe.
Whack. We
Can I say
are
Nanishka's on the other
lashing
side
out.
to like punch the other one?
Someone
Yeah,
in the
yeah.
teeth.
We're the Hecate Goon Squad. We've got this.
Yeah.
All right.
We are lashing out. Go for it.
That is severity. Can I use my I'm gonna use my wheel to roll a third dice. If I can. Okay, that's much better. So that is with my third dice I was 2 6s, -1, so 11.
I'm gonna use the one
Absolutely.
I got as
One was
well.
1, so thank God.
Yeah. Rin.
Yeah, I'm
Use
gonna
yours as well?
yeah, because I have a -2 severity without it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, not much better though. I went from a 2 to a 3, so I have 9. No, 7 -2.
7. That's still not bad. Naneshka, you take over the narration scene for this. I will say, if you can think of something, a caveat, a little negative consequences for Marcus, you just take over the narration. If not, I'll add something at the end. But you tell me how this scene, how this whole fight goes.
Okay. I'd like to think that they both walk around the table almost in unison and stand beside each of these Illuminati members and kind of looking at each other to give like a go-ahead. Marcus goes ahead with the pipe to hit one over the head, and Nanisha goes to punch the other one where she knows it's gonna hopefully knock them out instantly. And I think with the successes that we had, maybe Naneshka did succeed, but Marcus didn't end up being able to subdue the other Illuminati member completely. So they are still awake and aware.
One is knocked out cold, did not see it coming. The other one manages to duck a little bit, and Marcus is still struggling with it. Marcus, do you want to take over a little bit of narration for yourself here as well?
I don't need to. Yours is good. He just kind of goes for it and probably tips the guy off too, and that's why they're struggling.
Mm-hmm. All right, so they're not completely knocked out yet. Anati, Sylvie, is there anything you want to do to help here?
Grab the bones.
Nati will start grabbing bones.
You start getting as many bones as you can. I'm assuming you brought bags. You're smart enough. It's clinking and clattering as you're not entirely careful, and there's a little bit of a part of you, Sylvie, that's probably like, I'm sorry. But
Yeah.
it has to happen, and it has to happen quick before your spell wears off. You manage to get the skull pieces into one, you manage to get the body pieces into another, at least making that much of a distinction. And you almost finish when the other agent is slowly getting the upper hand over Marcus, wrestling with him. Now having a hold of this invisible figure. Who are you wrestling with, Marcus? The woman or the man?
My initial thought was he probably doesn't hit a lady, but we're all witches, so there probably isn't that courtesy. It's like, well, you let me in, so he's probably recognizing that the lady is probably dangerous, and is trying to take her down.
All right. So Aneshka knocked out the guy. You are currently struggling with Madeline. Sylvie, you turn around and you see your cousin. Sorry, yes? Sorry, let me know if I missed something there, Alyssa.
Yeah, I didn't catch some of that. So am I struggling with the man or the woman?
Oh, you completely knocked out the man. You're
Okay.
good. You can also help Marcus if you want to.
Okay. So can I help Marcus lashing out again at the woman?
Make me another roll, please.
Would you want one from me as well, or just hers?
Just hers for now.
I rolled a 7.
It's another mixed one. I'll let you have a full success with charm if you accept an injury.
I'll do it.
Right. So you try and help Marcus and manage to ram into the woman. She doesn't see you. She doesn't know where you are. She has a good grasp of Marcus, but you just push her and you hear that oomph as the air leaves her lungs. But you both fall into one of the glass shelves where various items are kept. She is falling. She's buried under various bits and pieces clashing down on her, and she's trying to move and trying to get up, cursing like a sailor. But you realize that one of the broken glass shards has left a large gash on your arm and you're bleeding.
Okay.
You will currently not be able to do magic that requires somatic with both hands. You might be leaving a little bit of blood behind.
That's what I'm worried about.
Is going to put one of the bags in Marcus's hands, put one of the bags in Aneshka's hands, and say, "We gotta fucking go. Let's go."
Yeah. Booking it.
Booking it, yeah, to the van.
Guide. Anati
Yes.
would like to be the last person out. Do I recognize either one of these two people? From my knowledge, let's call it.
Sure. You too recognize Madeline. You don't know her name. At least you don't know her as Madeline. But you've seen that face before.
Oh boy. And then I'll rush out after everyone else.
You run back and up the corridor. You're no longer really worried about silence. The clashing of the glass has definitely been heard somewhere. You run past the classroom where the guard still lies unconscious, but there is another guard standing at the door going, "Hey!" This is where the chat's boon comes into play. As a figure drops from seemingly nowhere, the ceiling, onto that guard and onto his head with claws and a hiss and the hat being pulled into his face. You haven't seen Reeves in a while. Thing never really knows, or thing is, you never really know where Reeves is or what they're up to, but they always seem to come at just the right or just the wrong moment, depending on what they think is funniest. So the cat launches itself at the guard. He starts to flail wildly. He starts to move around, get out of the way, and you manage to run past him.
Thanks, Reeves.
Thanks, Reeves.
I love this cat.
You get to the van. You have the bags with the bones. You get to the muscle car. You drive.
I imagine that I jump in the van, like my car was left like at a place closer to outside of the city so that, you know, getting into it and starting it wouldn't cause a ruckus kind of thing. Yeah.
Probably a good point. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There's an elated feeling as you drive off of the campus with a successful heist. Except for maybe Naneshka, who is now feeling the pain as the adrenaline is slowly starting to wear off. Possibly Marcus as well, feeling a little bit of bumps and bruises here and there. Possibly even Anati realizing, oh fuck, she never got her shoe back. But you are safe. You did manage to get away. And you are driving a little bit faster, possibly, than necessary until you realize maybe let's not get any attention here. You turn around several times, you look into the mirror several times, nobody's following you. You have the bones. You have all your body parts.
Immediately sort of roll back the sleeve of Naneshka. Go, alright, sit still for a second, and I'll start to just cast like a very simple, just a numbing charm that I can do without having any of my things with me.
Yeah. And you've done this so many times, you don't need to roll for this. The bleeding, stopping the bleeding and taking the pain away is something that comes quite naturally to you. Aneshka, you feel the wound not knitting up. That would require a bit more concentration, a little bit more focus. But you do feel calmer, you do feel the pain ebbing.
I think she's trying to drive with one arm and while letting Anati work on her. And she gives out a very big sigh that has a lot more emotion than just tonight's heist, and looks to Anati with a tired smile and just says, "Thanks, Titi."
You're very welcome. If I could get some chamomile and some jasmine, I can get that stitched up when we're back at the bar. But so what did you call those people again, Sylvie?
She's
Illuminati. That's right.
You
We
can
could have
come back
stopped
to
at a
the-
rest stop, but yeah.
Yeah. I'll be back at the bar, wherever you'd like to have this conversation.
Yeah.
So,
The Illuminati.
never really mentioned this to you all, but when I sort of blew into town, it was because I was being chased by people like that. Especially that woman. I recognized her. She was hot on my tail before I came here. So that's not good, but
It's
know,
gonna be fine.
I hope I didn't bring I just hope I didn't
Where
bring
did you come
anything
from?
bad. I was more back east, south.
She comes from the Salt Lake branch. It'd be interesting what kind of establishment she would have been doing and
Wait, so you know her too?
Yes, she is my cousin. 3 or 4 times
Cool.
removed, but yes.
So your Illuminati cousin is chasing a Nazi.
Apparently.
And werewolf bones, apparently.
Well, if they got news that... I mean... I can only assume that their interest in these bones are nefarious. Also, these aren't fossils. They're too young.
So for sure they're werewolf bones then.
Absolutely. I mean, we could have had werewolf fossils. I'm sure there were plenty of people who came across the land bridge during the first migrations of humans to North America were lycanthropes.
Should I?
But that's
Yeah.
beside the point.
Should I go get Pano? See how we should bury whoever this fella is?
I think that would be
Yeah.
If you're tending to Nashka, I could go get him.
If you wanna.
I also
I'm a
recommend
good
we
girl.
burn the
Whoever
van.
wants to go can go.
We're not gonna burn the Sylvie. Go on, get out of here. No,
Okay,
you're out
like I get
the bar
chased away
to go get-
to go find the werewolf. Yeah.
And you head over to Pino's. The others head into the bar for a little nightcap, well deserved. What none of you see is Madeline Grace and her colleague, John Hooper, looking at the scene, the carnage, once they've collected themselves off the floor, once they've treated their own wounds. The security guards helping. I don't know what happened, one of them says, but I got this. And he holds up the shoe. Madeline that could come in handy. And takes the shoe from the guard, while John carefully collects a couple of drops of blood. And this is where we end today, with Blood Moon Rising.
Oh no.
Thank you very much, everyone.
Technically could have gone worse.
I
it
think it
could
went
have.
quite well.
Yeah, we did pretty
Good.
good. They'll never catch the dino bandits.
You know what? Here's the beauty of not having a plan, folks. We can say it went exactly according to plan, and no one can correct us.
Yep.
That is true.
Yep.
That is definitely a way of looking at it. You got your bones already at episode 2. We have boner alert. Nope. Didn't.
Hashtag
It's canon.
If you like today's episode in the Weave the Tail Discord, be sure to post hashtag Bone Heist under the show chat.
Hashtag
The
Please
thing
do.
about dire wolves.
Val.
Bone heist. Oh, is this now 15 Rihanna gifts with boner alert because I'm okay with that. All right. Thank you very much, everyone, for your donations, for your retweets. They did help out a great deal. Plus, of course, thank you for sitting through the little tech issues we have here and there. I hope the YouTube video is stitched together quite nicely, and I hope you guys enjoyed it as well. If you want to hashtag boner something, be our guest as well. Or just, let us know if you enjoyed it and what you thought of that heist and how it went, and which dinosaur mask you would have picked for such an undertaking. Of course, I also want to thank our sponsors for being with us this season. Links are in chat and, of course, in the description below. We have about 8 to 9 more episodes for this, and I'm looking forward to just finding out how far this werewolf conspiracy really goes, what the Illuminati are about to do, and what our Coven is going to do to keep theirs well protected. Now, let us know how you enjoyed that episode, and if there's a specific episode or a specific scene you liked best. This is the time to mention it. Anati, let's start with you and then go clockwise.
Oh, man. My favorite part of today's episode had to be... I just love Sylvie, and I love Sylvie and Anati's dynamic of just like, I have too many emotions, and Sylvie being like, I feel things occasionally. And I just love that back and forth that they have so much. Should I do my outro now as well, love?
Sure, go for it. Yeah.
Hi, I'm Dee. I have been playing Anati Rossford tonight. I am a streamer, voice actor, musician, professional GM with the Emerald City Game Masters Guild. I also played Julian in Woodsy Studios' Crimson Spires, which is a vampire-based romance novel that you can find on Steam. You can catch me all over the place. I am the creative lead for Critical Misses, and I also have my voiceover commissions open. So if you like my voice and you have a project that you need a voice for, feel free to hit me up on Twitter. That's @It'sDeRiddler, Ler, just like how it is at the bottom of this lovely graphic. And yeah, thank you guys so much for coming out and hanging. Appreciate it.
Thank you. And Val.
Hey, y'all, I'm Val. As far as my favorite part, I always like to give random facts about ancient animals and society. I learn all of this through the Eons YouTube channel, which is a PBS Red channel on YouTube. That, and I've only been like mildly associating myself with paleontology since I was 5 years old. But as far as finding me on socials, you can find me everywhere as Valdriath on both Twitter and Twitch. Be sure to check out my Twitch. We have a little rough schedule because I've had kind of a rough weekend, but we should be coming back on Wednesday night with some 5e, Thursday with some 5e and some The Expanse, Friday with Lancer, and Saturday with Dragon Age. So you can find this. You can hang out with me and my friends, and we like to play games together. That's me.
And Rindis.
Yeah, my favorite thing from today definitely had to be basic gas dinosaurs and all of the jokes that followed with it. Because absolutely Marcus had the same look I did, where it was like, those were words and I don't know what those are, and I'm not going to go look it up, so we're just going to pick the dinosaurs we know. And so yeah, all of that is great, and just being able to know just how to twist the knife in Sylvie by giving her the one that is not a dinosaur were my favorite moments, because it was entirely purposeful on Marcus's part. He's like, I may not know what those dinosaurs were, but I know this isn't one, and she's going to hate it. I'm, of course, Rindis of Party Wipe Games. You can catch me here 2 nights of the week, this game, and on Fridays where I play in Nibiru, where I basically am playing a robot version of Sylvie, where it's like I occasionally have emotions, and those are the wrong emotions when it's not appropriate. So they are a AI trapped in a human body trying to figure out how organics work and their feelings, and it's pretty fun. I'm enjoying it so far. Otherwise, you can catch me on my channel, Party Wipe Games, where we do Vampire the Masquerade tomorrow. We do Scum and Villainy on Thursdays. And Saturday, I run Descent into Avernus, a 5th edition campaign, and Things from the Flood on Sundays. They're all great, and they're all very different games, and I love having just a juggling repertoire of different things to do. That's me.
Hi, everyone. I'm Melissa, and I had actually 2 favorite moments. In general, I love that we all sat down and tried to explain feelings to Sylvie. That was great. One of my favorite moments, just sitting around coffee, be like, you have to have feelings and emotions to understand others people's feelings and emotions. But a personal scene that I really enjoyed, I was just happy to have Nash just fuck someone up finally. Even though we're in episode 2, I feel like we've talked about her trying to punch someone. And
You've been angling for it from the get-go, yeah.
Yeah. She had a lot of anger that was boiling up, so that was a release for her. But other than here on Mondays with these lovely people and this lovely guide, you can find me on Thursdays. We're starting a new game over at Indoor Adventures with masks, and I'll be a player on that. Saturdays, you can find me over at Val's channel playing Dragon Age, where if you enjoyed this group that is a Team Horny, you will enjoy that game that is also Team Horny, because it's Dragon Age. Saturdays at night as well, you can find me over at Plot Hunters. We're an all LGBTQIA+ and POC run channel. We're playing D&D 5th edition. I believe we are going through Rise of Tiamat. All the books from there, all the adventures, and if you want more of me, you can find me Sundays over at the Hobgoblin, DMing my friends through our own loosely D&D homebrew campaign, which I've said it before, Telenovela disguised as a D&D game. And that same Sunday at night, you can find me again over at Indoor Adventures playing Rime of the Frost Maiden.
I know who wouldn't want more of you, or all of you. You should go follow these lovely folks on Twitter to figure out where they are, when they are, how they are, who they are, and what kind of thirsty gifts they post on a regular basis. Spoiler alert. As for Weave the Tale, you can find us all over the place. Our socials are in chat just now. Of course, YouTube, our new Instagram as well, Discord, hop on in for that, and our Twitter, where we also announce our live shows. We have shows pretty much every day of the week at the moment, except for Sunday, and more are to come. There's a couple of one-shots and other 3-parters in the making. We just had our premiere, so if there's anything you want to catch up, it's certainly not too late. All of them are on YouTube in the according playlists. I'm Lydia, I'm Half-Hours Hermit, and I am currently here or over on Colonomicon every now and then for the one-shot Sundays and for the postmortem GM Postmortem, where we chat with game developers, and we chat with writers, and we chat with other GMs, of course. We had Megan Cross on last Friday talking a little bit about bonding, not the other thing you guys are thinking about, character bonding in Session Zeros. We are going to have actually Chris Gray, who made this beautiful game, in 2 weeks, so that is Friday the 5th. I know, dates. And yeah, every 2 weeks we have some interesting folks there. Other than that, you can check out what I do on Twitter, but these days I'm mostly behind the scenes trying to make sure that Mimic behaves, and, well, our servers behave, really. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it all, and I hope you're joining us again next week for more Blood Moon Rising on the Great American Witch. Thank you so much, everyone, and goodbye.